studio today and we're going to do pumpkins again. And this time it really is pumpkin season. We're into October. And Linda, the thing I love about pumpkins is you make them now and you can go past Thanksgiving with pumpkins.
Yeah.
You might pull out some extra things to put in your Thanksgiving one, like give thanks or happy Thanksgiving, but it's not a whole new seasonal project. So this is our finished project. This is what we're going to be working on, and it's easy, and felting is one of my absolute favorite hobbies. So I'm hoping that you'll really decide you like this and try it on some other things, and I'll show you later some of the other things I've done.
That's really cute.
The first thing you're going to do is you're going to use this product here. It's not go to the fabric store or the craft store and get felt squares or yardage. It's get roving, get some batting, and this here is called wool core. It's a cheaper version of the wool, and that's what's going to go on the inside. So you want to use that because it's cheaper, and then you're going to roll it into a ball. So if you can kind of do that and kind of get your shape, and then you're just going to use these special needle felting needles. So you're going to poke it like that. So the things you're going to need in order to do this project is you're going to need either roving or batting. You're going to need core wool for the inside. You're going to need to have this foam, which they sell, and you're also going to need to have the outer colors that you want. In this case, I'm using this color and this color. And then you have some brown for a little stem if you want to do that. Some people even use a piece of like cinnamon stick or something. That makes it smell good too. Now, this here, you have to poke a lot because you want it to be quite firm. And you want to be real careful that you don't stick yourself because it does hurt. So I bought this little kit, which I've never used this, but I thought I was going to teach a little class. This is a little leather finger guard. So if you get to a point where you're concerned about your fingers, you want to use that. Now you might wonder, you know, how to get started with projects. Where do I get all this material? Well, let me tell you, I think the first thing I ever did was I saw this in a magazine, and it's a little acorn, and you remember from my other video, if you watched that I have all these acorn caps that I got from the East Coast. I think that's a little bit easier than around here. And then you're going to do the same thing by rolling the whatever color you're using for the inside of the acorn into a ball, and then you're going to start poking it. Now you don't have to poke real far down because the little barbs that make the wool stick to itself are right on the very end. And so just poke it a little bit and you'll get that round circle. Now, the next thing I did was I got a kit. And the kit was for a little lamb. And I think it must have been around Easter that I got it. And I got it from Bear Creek Felting. And I loved their little kit. It gives a lot of instruction, and it will give you a couple of needles. It'll give you this foam core, and it'll give you just the right amount of wool in order to make that particular kit. I think that's a great way to go because you're not buying a lot of roving or batting that maybe you're not going to decide you want to do it afterwards, and you've got all this left over. Then I decided I really enjoyed doing this, so I did buy the roving online. And if you go on Amazon, you'll just find all kinds of people who supply it. But you also could use a local person that is doing it. Now, in my area, there is a gal named Lynn Schweider. She lives in Maple Valley, and she raises sheep. And she and her husband, sheep and goats, and she sells the pelts, she sells yarn, she sells roving, and she sells batting. So I like to go there. It supports a local person, and she has good prices. So
Yeah, I like
you might,
that idea.
yeah, you might want to look around your area and see if you can find someone that does that. Now, Linda's going to keep shaping hers, and when you get to this point, that's when you're going to start putting the orange wool on here. And I'm just going to start right here. And this tool is not one you need to start out with, but because I decided I wanted to do a lot of felting, I got this because it has several needles in it. I think the one that Linda has has even more than this one does, but it kind of saves you time. So you're just going to keep going around like this and get it all covered. If you've got a place where there's not enough, you just add some more. Another thing that I want to point out to you is sometimes they have a little bit of debris in there, and you want to take that out. You don't need to worry about it so much with the core wool because it's not going to show anyway. But you're gonna, I think this really is just sort of like a mat, like in my dog's hair.
Oh no.
I was trying to groom him this morning, and boy, does he hate to have any mats combed out. Just have to kind of cut them out. Okay, so I'm gonna just keep doing this, and when I get it all covered, then you know how pumpkins have these lines where they're kind of indented?
Yeah.
Well, you can do that with your felting needle, but I've also seen where some people use a heavy thread
Oh, and
they put that down there. You just want to felt it in good so it doesn't come out. So you're going to keep doing that. Now you'll see that this orange is different than my first one. And pumpkins come in all colors. You know, the other day I saw green ones. They're kind of
all green.
yeah, they're kind of a gray green. It wasn't like they weren't ripe.
Yeah.
It was, and I thought it was really pretty. So, you know, you can just make them any color you want, but if you want tradition, then you're probably going to do either white, orange, or some combination.
Yeah.
Now, after I get this all done, all felted like this, it's going to need a stem. So then I'm going to take a little bit of this brown, because I want a brown stem. You could have a green one though, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Or maybe even kind of a gray. And I'm gonna roll it into sort of a log shape. And I want to be sure that I'm not going to use my multi-needle one for this. I'm just going to use this single needle. And you want to be sure that you turn it, otherwise it's going to get caught to your foam.
Oh.
And you'll lose half of it in the foam. So you're gonna just do that. Leave one end sort of unfelted because you're gonna need to felt it into the top of the pumpkin. So I'm gonna just keep turning until it's really quite stiff. I want this to be something that really feels like it's solid. So I'm gonna just keep felting it, but I'm also gonna, do you see how I'm kind of poking on the end so that it'll have a flatter top? And another thing you can do, I tend not to do this, but some people use little sharp scissors to cut off any fuzzies that are still around. So you're gonna do this, and when you get it all felted, then this is the top of my pumpkin. Then I've got a little bit of unfelted wool right here on the end. I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna felt all around, and it'll go in much easier if I haven't already felted it solid. So that would be the next thing. And then we're gonna do leaves. Now, it depends on what color you want for your pumpkin leaves. I was trying to decide what color are they usually. Are they dark? Are they light? Anyway, I just started this one, and I'm gonna keep doing this, and then when I have it pretty solid, then I'm gonna go around the edge with my single. And this is where you really have to be careful of your fingers,
Oh, yeah.
because you could stab yourself. And you're gonna just, oops, I kind of did there, but I didn't go hard. You're just gonna kind of shape it so that it looks more leaf-like. And maybe you do a better job of doing a realistic leaf than I'm doing. So shape it the way you think pumpkin leaves look. And again, I'm leaving kind of the stem area not thick, because I want to be able to felt it into the pumpkin. So I'm just going to keep. Are you getting close to the shape you want, Linda?
Yep, I think so. I have to add a little bit more
Sure.
of the wool to get it a
you
little
can,
bit bigger.
Yeah, and you can do that. So while Linda continues doing that, I'm going to show you some other projects that I've done that I think this might really interest you in other projects. Oh, one thing I should tell you before I move on. Actually, two things. If you want to mix colors so that it's not a solid color, which I did on the tendril for this, I mixed green and brown. Well, then I got two of these dog type brushes from the Dollar Tree. You know, that's my favorite saving place.
Oh, yeah.
So I put it on one, and I just rake across like this, and then I pull it off there, and then I kind of rake the other way. And you can stretch it out, and you can do this with multiple colors. So this is kind of the carding of the wool, and it's also the way you can mix colors. You can do it by hand too. Now these, all you do is you take a little thin piece of the roving, and you stretch it out, and you take some warm water, and you get it damp, not soaking wet.
Oh, yeah.
And then you take something like a pencil, and while you put it around the pencil, you also twist the yarn so it stays nice and tight, and you leave it to dry overnight, and this becomes a little tendril that goes on the pumpkin.
That is so cute.
And again,
I like that.
you know, you're going to felt it into there. So the pumpkin takes very little time to do. This will take a little bit longer, and then you just put it on. But I want to show you a couple other things. There are a couple of people online that I like to watch. One of them is, her name's Marie, and she does living felt. Now the only issue I have with her videos is that they usually are too long for me. They're an hour and sometimes two.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I learned to do from Marie was to make dolls.
Oh, that is so cute.
And it's fun to work with faces. Now when I made this, she was the first doll I made. I had some people accuse me of making her look like me. My hair was a little longer then. So anyway.
Yeah, she could be your twin.
And I made her a little cup of coffee, but I think I probably need to make it a little bit bigger. But anyway, it's fun to do the faces. Well, then later, I decided I was going to make a Santa. And so this is a Santa that I made. Now this here, they're called locks. You can buy them online, but my friend Lynn also sells them. So I can get locks in a lot of different colors. This gal has gray locks, Santa has white,
Nice.
but there's some that are mixtures, and I have another doll I made that has kind of red hair. So all kinds of different things that you can do with the felting, and they're all different kinds of felting too. So check it out. Go online, look at some of the videos, and then maybe think about getting a kit. It'll give you everything you need to start with, and then you can decide if you really like doing this.
That's great.
So I hope that maybe before Halloween that you will try making one of these pumpkins. And I didn't check to see if there was a kit online, but I'm sure there is. And I'll tell you, I know that especially with Bear Creek, they had good instructions. So
yeah.
that's a good way to start too. So
Yeah, just buy a kit.
yeah. So Linda's gonna finish up hers and I'll finish up mine, but you know what they are gonna look like when you get done, and you can really do this any size. So if you have lots of time, make a big one. If you just wanna try it out, make a little one. Have a good day. Thank you.